Hi, my name is Daniel Salom, and today I'll be guiding you through this LabVIEW tutorial. This tutorial will be about variables. Let's first talk about the types of variables. The local variable is used to pass information within a VI whenever it's not possible to do so by using wires. The global variable is used to pass information within VIs that share the same memory of the application. There's also the shared variable, but we'll not talk about that variable in this tutorial. Let's now talk about the states of variables. Variables can be set to either read or to write. When the variable is set to read, it will appear as a control since it's giving information for you to use as an input. And when the variable is set to write, this will appear as an indicator since it's getting information which will be used by another variable that was set to read. Let's talk about an example of when to use a variable. Two while loops run in parallel and you want them to stop at the same time whenever a stop button is pressed. Since you will only have one control, you want that same control to control another variable that will send the same information that the control has. So it's either true or false. So whenever you set the control to true, that value will be sent to the conditional terminal and both while loops will stop. Now let's see an example of when not to use a variable. The output from the number comparison could be wired directly to the input of the choose function. So as you see where the mouse is pointing, this output will be wired directly here. So you should organize your block diagram so you use the least amount of variables possible. Okay, let's start by creating a local variable. Right click on the block diagram, go to structures, and then click on local variable. For you to use this local variable, you need to have either controls or indicators in your block diagram. So let's create a numeric constant and change it to a indicator. Change the name to hello. Now create a true constant and change it to a control. Now click in the center of your local variable and you will see that you have the two controls. Now what it shows, it represents the name of the control and not the data type. So it says Boolean just because that's the name, and the other one says hello. So you click and it links your local variable to that control. You can change it to read or to write depending on which one you are by right clicking and clicking on change to read, and get it back to write by right clicking and then change to write. You can also create a local variable by right clicking a control and clicking on create local variable. Let's now look at an example of how to use this local variable. Let's create a while loop. Right click structures and while loop, and wire the Boolean control to the conditional terminal. Now copy the while loop, delete the control from the other while loop, and create a local variable from the control from the first while loop. Change it to read and wire it to the conditional terminal. Now since you don't want the while loops to run 1,000 times per second, you need to place timing functions inside a while loop. So go to right click, go to timing functions, the timing palette, and choose the wait function. Wire and constant of 100 to the input, so waits 100 milliseconds to run the next iteration. So we'll run 10 times per second, and place another one in the other while loop. Now create an indicator for this wire by right clicking and clicking on create indicator, copy it, and wire it to the other cable that goes out of the local variable. Now go to your front panel and change those indicators boolean 2 and 3 to a, like, right click and go into replace and change it for a round LED, both of them. Now you run the VI and you see that both indicators are showing a false value since they're not on. Whenever you push the Boolean control, both indicators will light up, meaning that both while loops stop at the same time, because whenever they get the true value, so will the conditional terminal of both while loops. So you push it and both while loops have stopped at the same time. Let's look at the example by using the highlight execution. Turn on highlight execution and run the VI. Now go to the front panel and switch the block diagram, and you see how both get the true and they stop. You may turn off highlight execution now. Let's now create a global variable. You right click, go to structures, and click on global variable. Double click the global variable. It opens kind of like a BI, but you can only see the front panel, and place a control from the data type you want to use. For this example, we'll use a Boolean one. Save the name of the control. Let's use Boolean FRC and save the the variable. It will be as a .bi, but it's actually a global variable. So let's give it the name global1 and close it. Now if you want to choose from the global variable, you click and you have Boolean FRC. Another way to place the global variable in the block diagram would be by right clicking, going to select a BI, and going to the place where you saved it and click it, and then OK. And there you go. So now open another VI and put a global variable in each of the VIs you have. Now create a while loop for both of them. Now, for the first BI, click the conditional terminal and create a constant. So the while loop runs until you stop the BI. Add a timing function to both while loops. With 100 milliseconds. And change this global variable to read. So this variable will read what is being written from the other VI, and this while loop will stop whenever a true value is sent from the other VI. So now let's place a control that will be linked to this global variable. And the control is called stop. Now let's run both VIs, and you see that whenever I push this stop button, the VI named untitled 2, which is the right one, stop. This one is still running since it has a constant wire to it. If you want both to stop at the same time, get rid of the constant and wire the control to the conditional terminal. Now you can run both at the same time and see how both stop at the same time. So run both of the both VIs, and whenever you click the stop button, both will stop at the same time. Turn on highlight execution, but only for the one that has the global variable wired to the conditional terminal. Run the first VI and then run the other one. You see how it gets the false value. Now you click the stop button and sends the true, and it stops. This concludes this LabVIEW tutorial. Thank you for watching.